you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince, or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because like we cast a guy in the movie,
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure how many of you all have been keeping up, but this new live-action Snow White movie has been a complete shiznit show ever since it was announced. First, they started off by casting a Snow White that wasn't white at all, and then they followed that up with casting a ragtag bunch of non-binary Starbucks baristas to replace the famous and well-beloved Seven Dwarves. I know, right? What could go wrong? But if that wasn't enough, the actresses, the actors, the filmmakers behind this movie have taken every chance they can to defecate all over the original, to just crap all over Walt Disney's legacy, and to just talk about how this movie is going to be so much better, so much more socially aware than the original movie that came out years and years ago that we all grew up with. You know, despite what generation you may have grown up in, we all probably grew up watching Snow White. I don't care if you're someone who's 15 years old watching this video, or if you're someone who's 50 years old watching this video. This is a shared experience that we, as a society, shared. And because this is a shared experience, it's important for these weirdos in Hollywood to ruin that for everyone, which is what they're doing now. Now, this situation got so bad that they basically had to scrap most of the movie. They had to delay the movie for an entire year. Now, that ragtag bunch of non-binary Starbucks baristas, they have been replaced by CGI dwarves that look absolutely horrendous. The Snow White actress, I guess they put a muzzle on her or something, because I haven't heard from her much. But allegedly, what's happening right now is that this movie is still a mess. The reshoots, everything they're trying to do, it's not working. And the reason why it's not working is because the love is not even there. The love's not there at all. In fact, indifference is not even there. You don't have filmmakers here that love Snow White. You don't have filmmakers here that don't have any feelings towards the original Snow White. No, you have filmmakers and actresses who have actively gone out of their way to tell you how much they hate the original. So what makes you think these people are going to do a good job with this movie? So honestly, I'm happy to see that they're struggling. But let's go ahead and dive into this article and find out a little bit more about what's going on here. Despite being completed, Disney delayed the release of Snow White by an entire year and reportedly canceled plans to release the trailer. Originally, the flick was supposed to get released on March 22nd, but will now be released March 21st, 2025. Disney has also recently gotten rid of the executive that was the head of its live-action films, which follows big box office bust, including the live-action Little Mermaid. Rachel Zegler has also found herself in the hot seat with fans, following her controversial comments about Snow White, which she has since backtracked on. So the movie is a mess. We all know it's a mess. It's no big secret. But you see, Disney has shills. Shills that they send out there on social media to kind of like give false praise to their upcoming projects. They got a lot of bots on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, that hype up their movies despite the fact that no one's really going to see these movies anymore because the quality has declined so drastically. Plus, all of these movies are crammed, jam-packed full with political and social messaging that the majority of audiences don't want anything to do with, and that's being proven by the box office results. But there's been Disney shills out here claiming that everything is fine. Nothing to see here, folks. It's like when they were like, oh, this is a totally peaceful protest, and Wendy's is on fire behind them. This is how this situation is going. So we got these Disney shills out here claiming that the movie is testing well and there's nothing going wrong, but we got other insiders who aren't paid off by Disney who are exposing the truth. Says right here, actually, I can refute this Daniel RPK report. As I said months ago, that it was in trouble before they moved it back a year. It is actually testing poorly, and those involved don't have much hope for it. The film is a mess, and it's not working despite reshoots. So despite the fact that they've delayed the movie for a year, despite the fact that they've replaced the non-binary Starbucks employees with actual CGI dwarves, despite the fact that they took out scenes and then they filmed the new scenes, they've done everything they can, and the movie is still testing poorly. The movie is still a complete and utter mess, and even the people involved have lost all hope for it. But let's be honest, this movie was dead in the water from the beginning. You know, a lot of people make a big stink about Rachel Zegler being cast as Snow White. And I gotta agree. I mean, she looks nothing like Snow White. I think we should cast characters that look like the characters that they're supposed to be playing. But in the grand scheme of things, I believe a lot of people would have eventually looked past that if they provided a quality product, or if at the very least, Rachel Zegler was out here, you know, promoting the movie, happy about the movie, discussing how much of a fan she was, but we got the exact opposite. The filmmakers and the Snow White actress herself, like I said earlier, they took every opportunity they could to crap on the old movie, to say that the old movie was problematic. And the entire structure of this Snow White movie, this new live action one, it changes everything. It tries to take the love story out of the equation and make it all about Snow White becoming a strong woman. You know, the feminist nonsense that they keep pumping in all of these movies that women themselves don't care about. Women love the story of Snow White for what the story was. They like the Prince Charmings. They like the kiss. They like the evil, wicked witch. They like all of that stuff. It's been loved for generations. Snow White is one of those things that, like I was explaining earlier, it doesn't matter if you're 15 or you're 55. We all grew up watching it. It's been universally loved by women and men across the world for decades for a reason. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You think your modern day messaging is going to come in and fix Snow White? No, it made it a complete mess. Now you all are just going to have to deal with how that goes. You made your bed, now lie in it. And we're all, as an audience, we're probably not going to tune into this movie, but we're eating our popcorn and we're tuned in as Disney just straight up collapses, at least in the movie department. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you would like to donate, you can donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. But make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and always remember to take some time out of your day to go watch a movie.